Right at the top of the hour, this is News Tonight at 10. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango and Magalu Mohammed on sign language. Now, National Resistance Movement NRM Party caucus has received, discussed and adopted the report of the NRM Secretariat on voter register and political roadmap. During the caucus meeting chaired by the government chief whip Hamson Obua at the office of the President, NRM Electoral Commission Chairperson Dr. Tangodoy said the register has 25 million members, but the voters are 19.4 million. He gave highlights on the roadmap which are going to be structured. Expression of interest at village level starts on April 24th and ends on the 30th of April 2025, and the elections start May 6th. The meeting also adopted the report presented on wealth creation
in the country based at the village. We go to the sub-county. So the 30 elected at parish level within a sub-county now move as a college into the sub-county. And when the sub-county elect, they move into the district. That will happen in the whole country, and it will take us exactly 3 to 4 weeks. Members of Parliament, expression of interest will be June 2nd to June 15th. You must come in with your papers and you move on. And of course, nomination will take place, and election of members of Parliament we expect to take place July 16th. Article 44(4) of the Constitution dictates that the NRM is a family and all campaigns must be a family campaign. We are aware that there are people who mudslink the current MPs or even others. They are aware those who orchestrate propaganda, the propagandists. They are aware those who have character assassination, who want you to talk in the face of the other. You tell the members what you would have said in silence or in secrecy, and the other person has the right to respond. That is the rationale. It is a campaign of a family members that belong to NRM. It's a campaign that should not tear the party. It's a campaign where we want issues rather than sentimentality. To interest you, members of NRM who are going for campaign, to read the law with regard to the illegalities during campaign. When we get you on illegalities, including but not limited to bribery, because you have a lot of money, the NRM Electoral Commission, that I now head for another term, will disqualify you.
On tips on wealth creation mobilization was meant to reawaken, to remobilize, to reassure, to reassemble, to remind members of the NRM to continue mobilizing, to continue monitoring the trillions of shillings that the NRM government has injected into the various wealth creation initiatives.
Now, the First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mrs. Janet Museveni, has challenged all institutions involved in the training of health professionals to embrace quality in everything they do in relation to the training and education of health workers.
The 4-day conference ran under the theme, "A Transformed Health Education Training and Health Care for Improved Health Outcome and Productive Population," was attended by several dignitaries. It was here that the First Lady made the remarks while officially opening the conference.
It is therefore very important that all stakeholders of education and sports and health deliberately rethink and use the theme of the conference to improve training and education. Health workers of today must be competent to tackle and handle medically health conditions accurately within the rapidly changing environment and evolving disease situation. Transformation starts with a renewal of the mind. This calls for change in mindset, in focus and objectives regarding your work and expected outcomes. If this conference is to achieve the objective as expressed in the theme, it starts with renewal of minds.
Mrs. Museveni reminded the conference participants that health service is a calling and not just a job, and called for a transformation of minds where preparators of private health training institutions look at health education and training as a service, as opposed to a business for profit. During the conference, the First Lady launched 4 new curricula for Diploma in Emergency Care, Diploma in Medical Records and Informatics, Diploma in Care and Nursing, as well as Diploma in Pediatric Nursing and Child Health Care.
Attitude should be an important part of our training. A brilliant health worker who lacks empathy is actually a danger to patients. And a health worker who cannot communicate effectively is also a liability to the profession. Training programs for health professionals must incorporate and emphasize interpersonal, communication, leadership, and ethical decision-making skills.
Then there is also this element of overcrowding. There's a hospital where I went to, and you find 30 patients around a patient. Students around one patient. So let's try to put the right numbers. And you know, this can be solved by the issue I talked about. Put the students in shifts. We have 8-hour shifts. If you send me 24 students to my hospital, I can put them in 3 shifts. And then that would mean 8 students are easier to teach than 24 students, because all of them have to be on the ward round.
Mama, there are conditions which are now emerging, and they are a pain. Conditions like stroke, injuries, road traffic accidents, heart diseases, and abnormalities with which children are born. We are seeing that the mortalities were low, but they seem to be stagnating in there. And now that the major causes are moving down, they are becoming increasingly more prominent on our agenda. And therefore, the health workforce we train should now start being oriented from these acute infective conditions to more chronic conditions.
The Education and Sports Minister also launched a fresh census for all academic institutions, both public and private, in the country, which will start on April 7th, 2025. The census, which will be conducted by the Education Ministry in collaboration with the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, is intended to provide accurate education statistics to support planning, budgeting, and decision-making in the sector. Reporting for UBC, Baguma William.
Well, thank you very much there, Baguma William. Now the judiciary has applauded the works of the outgoing Deputy Chief Justice, also Court of Appeal Justice Richard Buteera, who clocked his retirement age. This was during a special sitting session aimed at applauding the works of Justice Buteera for the period he has worked as a judiciary officer.
Deputy Chief Justice Richard Buteera recently clocked his retirement of 70 years, following a stellar career as a judicial officer. Justice Richard Buteera has served the country in various aspects, especially in the legal system. Following Justice Richard Buteera's tremendous work, the Judiciary Friday held a special sitting to honor him. The sitting, which was presided over by Justice Godfrey Chiriawire, who recognized Justice Richard Buteera's 40 years of dedication, service, excellence, and kindness, among others. The Attorney General Chiriowa Chiwanuka praised Justice Richard Buteera's remarkable legacy to the judiciary and the country at large.
Say without fear of contradiction about the DCJ is that he was a very humble, very calm, but firm judge. He listened to you with humility. He gave you time to make your presentation, but he was very, very strict on time.
The special session was attended by the head Director of Public Prosecutions, Lady Justice Jane Francis Sabodo, who acknowledged Justice Richard Buteera's efforts in mentoring junior prosecutors and reducing case backlog.
A man whose name is synonymous with integrity, innovation, and unwavering commitment to justice. And sadness because the bench will no longer be graced by his wisdom, his humility, or his passion for the law. Justice Buteera's legacy has been one of transformative leadership, integrity, and lasting contributions to Uganda's justice system.
In his speech, Justice Richard Buteera expressed gratitude for the recognition and encouraged his fellow judges to embrace teamwork in addressing the challenges faced by the judiciary.
Appreciate his presence for me to be joined by the Justices of the Court of Appeal at this special sitting. I'm humbled by the novelty exhibited by the Justices of the Court of Appeal, Constitutional Court, in developing and raising the ideas that have led to this special sitting. I'm happy, as has been said, that our meetings generally start on time. On average, we do not meet for more than 45 minutes. These meetings have improved the team spirit among the justices of the Court of Appeal. I encourage you, my lords, to continue actively participating in these meetings. They have provided a forum where we openly talk to each other, we discuss what we want to do and how best.
Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
Thank you both, Deborah and Namamonde. Now, Dr. Kiiza's legal team is set to challenge the ruling made by Nakawa Chief Magistrates Court that allowed Detective Inspector of Police Benedict Odieke to be cross-examined on camera over the affidavit he swore in court, requesting for access to the accused's phones in order to retrieve some evidence.
Retired Colonel Dr. Kiiza Besigye and his co-accused Ajobedi Lutale have appeared before Nakawa Chief Magistrates Court to hear the prosecution's application, seeking court to allow them have access to the accused's phone to retrieve evidence. On record, Detective Inspector of Police Odiek Benedicto, one of the investigating officer in this case, attached to Chieftains of Military Intelligence CMY, swore an affidavit asking court to allow them have access to Dr. Kiiza Besigye's phone and Obedi Lutale, to which Dr. Kiiza Besigye's legal team asked court to have him cross-examined in public. However, upon hearing the application, prosecution asked court to have Odiek Benedicto examined in camera or in chambers on grounds that is one of the investigative officer in this case. According to Billy Vumbuka, exposing Odiek Benedicto to public at this premature stage of the trial will be prejudice to the substantive matter, which will be awaiting trial in the High Court. Yet the investigations are still ongoing.
It will jeopardize the investigations because he's still one of the investigating officers.
Prosecution added that following the atmosphere in court, there is no way Odiek can appear in an open court for cross-examination.
This will ensure, one, from public attacks and threats.
He's one of the very many police officers at Kibuye who are investigating this matter.
They also asked court to have press excluded from this matter, citing Article 28, Clause 1 and 2 of the Constitution. According to Billy Vumbuka, this cannot be done at this material time of the proceedings.
To protect Mr. Odiek and the integrity of the investigation.
After the proceedings, he will walk out and the cameras will be here waiting for him.
The prayers were, however, objected by Dr. Kiiza Besigye's legal team, led by Frederick Impanga.
A criminal trial is in the public interest. The interests to be balanced are that of the state and that of the accused persons and their relations.
Basing their argument on Article 126(1), defense added that having Odiek to testify in camera will interfere with the right to fair hearing and public hearing to the accused.
It is wrong for Counsel Billy Vumbuka to purport to bring evidence from the bar that there will be national security.
The interest of the prosecution here is to protect Buteera, not state security.
In delivering her ruling, Magistrate Esther Nyandoyi declined to grant Besigye's prayers.
That morality, public order, and national security can maintain, that this application be heard in camera.
However, immediately after receiving the ruling, Besigye's legal team asked court to avail them with a record of the ruling to make a review in the High Court, which prayers were objected by the prosecution.
I am of the view that this court does not have powers to stay its own proceedings without grounded statutory law and case law.
Court later agreed with Dr. Kiiza Besigye's legal team's prayers to review its ruling in High Court.
To enable the accused persons exercise the right, this court shall adjourn this matter for mention to the 30th of April 2025.
Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
Now, the High Court Criminal Division in Kampala has released jailed lawyer Eron Kiiza on a bail of 20 million after he presented substantial sureties that will compel him to return to court and prosecute his appeal.
Following the prolonged detention on the sentence of contempt of court, which was handed to him by the Chairman General Court Marshal, Brigadier General Freeman Robert Mugabe, lawyer Eron Kiiza filed a bail application in High Court Criminal Division in Kampala to have temporary freedom, pending his appeal application challenging this sentence. The bail application, which was heard in March by Judge Mike Rubo, after perusing both sides' submissions, he has now granted lawyer Eron Kiiza bail. Court released Eron Kiiza on bail of 20 million Ugandan shillings cash and his 3 sureties to execute a non-cash bail of 50 million shillings each.
The applicant said that he has a fixed place of abode at Central Kiwatule Zone in Kiwatule Ward, which is located in Akawa Division, Kampala City. It is in her personal interest to ensure that the applicant attends court and resolves his legal challenges. In my view, all these sureties are substantial. In the result, I find that the applicant, Kiiza Eron, qualifies for admission to bail pending.
However, court put stringent bail terms against lawyer Eron Kiiza, among them to deposit his passport in court.
It is directed that the applicant will report the extension of his bail to the Registrar of the Criminal Division of the High Court on the first Monday of every month. The applicant shall be required to deposit his passport with this court. In the event he requires it for travel, an application to that effect will be made before this court.
Following the sentence of 9 months, which was handed to him, lawyer Eron Kiiza had spent over 80 days in Buteera government prison.
We are glad that at least we have obtained the liberty, which I don't think is temporary. Ordinarily, bail is a temporary liberty. But the ratio disdendi, or the reasoning of the court, is that the appeal of Eron Kiiza is meritorious. Essentially, you know, liberty is next to life itself. When you are looking for someone's life, you may not look at the cost, because to law, liberty is next to life itself. Even if it was 100 million shillings, who would have really taken it first? That is a question for another day.
Trouble for lawyer Eron Kiiza started on 7th January 2025 when the General Court Marshal found his conduct in contempt of court while he was representing his clients, Dr. Kiiza Besigye and Ajobedu Lutale, who were battling with charges of treachery and unlawful possession of firearms. Lawyer Eron Kiiza appealed the sentence following the Supreme Court decision that found the works of the General Court Marshal as being inconsistent with the Constitution. His appeal is pending hearing in High Court. Deborah Namamonde, Viola Nansubuga, UBC News.
Can I have order?
Now, it's been business unusual in Bulange Mengo, Kampala, as both the NRM and Patriotic League of Uganda members secured Kabaka's birthday run kits worth 60 million shillings. At the same event, State House delivered 7 million shillings in cash and a pledge of 30 million shillings to be delivered on Saturday, 5th April 2025.
Kampala has been painted yellow Friday evening as hundreds of Patriotic League of Uganda supporters headed to Bulange Mengo.
Honorable Robert Migadde.
The Bulange Mengo visit was to support the Kingdom's call towards this year's Kabaka birthday run, slated for Sunday 6th April 2025.
Come on.
To support the cause, the Patriotic League of Uganda, under the chairmanship of General Muhoozi Kainerugaba, has secured Kabaka's birthday kits worth 30 million shillings.
Twasooka okujja wano twajja nga tulina miliyoni 2 katutuze nga tulese miliyoni 3.
Perry was represented by Attorney General Kirwaki Wanuka, Ministers Balamba Lugahara, Haruna Chewune Kasolo, and Michael Nwagira alias Toyota, among others.
Ekisooka kwebaza Kabaka okuba nti yateekako entegeka eno olw'okuyamba abantu kulw'obulamu bwabwe. Tusiima era tusemera ddala. Era tusaba Kabaka, tusaba Katonda Kabaka mwongere emyaka emingi.
So tuzze wano okwatira wamu ne Buganda yonna, wamu ne Uganda yonna, okuyozayoza Ssaabasajja Kabaka okweza emyaka 7.
By coincidence, the Patriotic League of Uganda moved alongside the NRM party leaders.
Nate n'okubajjukiza tufe nga bana NRM ssentebe w'ekibiina kyaffe ye President Yoweri Museveni. Era tubadde tutambula nga twongera okujjukiza abantu nti ebyogerwa nti Buganda yakyawa President Museveni si bituufu.
Kabaka mukole ebimuwe essanyu. Mwe muli mu buyinza, omanyi bw'obeera mu buyinza oba n'obuvunaanyizibwa bunene. Mukole Kabaka ebimuwe essanyu. Kabaka bw'aba omusanyufu, ffe tukiraba bulabi nga Kabaka musanyufu. Bano bonna eyo gye mutambulira e Buvuma, e Mawogola, wa nga bagamba bano baagala Kabaka naffe tubaagala.
The NRM party was represented by its members under the Buganda caucus, led by Minister Ruth Nankabirwa, with a contribution of 30 million shillings.
Ne ku mulundi guno tukimanyi bulungi tewagenda kuddayo kubeerawo myaka 7 gya baffe bakikuza.
Baza okujja okwegatta kaweefuba okulwanyisa Mukenenya. Kubanga oba oli w'NRM oba oli wa kibiina ki, tewali muntu atakosebwangako bulwadde bwa Mukenenya. Ab'Enganda batufaako, emikwano gitufaako, oluusi naffe tulwala. N'olwekyo ku nsonga eno ffenna tubeere bumu.
The Attorney General Kirwaki Wanuka delivered the CDF's message to the kingdom.
Muganda wange era muto wange General Muhoozi Kainerugaba eyansabye nzije wano okutegeeza Ssebo Katikkiro nti ye ng'omuntu wamu n'ekibiina kyakulembera KPLU kyeyozayoza Ssaabasajja Kabaka nnyo okutuuka ku mazaalibwa ge.
Buganda Premier emphasized the need to have a stable health system.
Amalwaliro gavumenti ezimbye mangi. Ekizibu tewali basawo. Abasawo abakola tebalina maanyi. Abasawo tebalina maanyi. Naye amalwaliro gazimbiddwa tewali atagalaba. Mbasaba musoosowaze ebyobulamu ne mu bajeti eno. Kijja kukola bulungi.
State House, through the controller Jenny Bareche, represented by Ewan Sava Mukasa, secured kits worth 30 million shillings, both in pledge and in cash. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
Thank you, Robert. Now, as we step into the Ministry of Health, it has launched a 3 billion shillings research project for the fight against teenage pregnancy and child marriage in Lango sub-region. The 3 initiatives, spearheaded by the Consortium of Development Partners, aims to generate community-driven evidence to inform policy and transform lives.
Teenage pregnancies and child marriages are some of the challenges affecting adolescents in Uganda. In a bid to address teenage pregnancy and child marriage in Lango sub-region, a 3 billion research project was today launched in Lira City.
To declare CAF PSC project officially launched.
According to Minister Cheng, regions like Lango are still registering higher rates of teenage pregnancies compared to other regions in the country.
So I want to appreciate that this research will give us information that will inform policy. It must not focus on encouraging adolescents to go in for family planning. It must focus on changing the mindsets of the adolescents to stay in school and teaching our parents to talk to their children freely about sexual issues.
She called for a spirited move for a national mindset shift involving all stakeholders, including cultural leaders, political leaders, families, and communities.
Even the man-child, those who go to impregnate our girls, it seems their brains are not mature. Why do you leave the women? So the First Lady gathered us together to work on a document that we are calling the National Framework for Education on Life Skills and Health.
During the launch, some of the victims of teenage pregnancies and early marriages shared their painful testimonies, others blaming their parents for trading them for bride price, while others were allegedly forced to carry out abortion. With the only 4 trained psychologists in the region, many mental health cases have gone untreated, putting many girls at risk.
That we have a lot of suicides in the region, we have a lot of domestic violences, and these are the result of untreated trauma, untreated mental health issues.
Health workers say unsafe abortions remain a silent epidemic. Emmanuel Bua, the Lira District Inspector of Schools, noted that school dropout rates of girls have surpassed that of boys due to such vices, especially in rural areas.
That means half of the children who enrolled were not in school.
The Community Access to Adolescent-Friendly Family Planning and Post-Abortion Care Project, a research initiative, aims at tackling the deeply rooted challenges of teenage pregnancy and sexual reproductive health.
We expect that this research will inform stakeholders in the city and the district, and also at policy level, at national level, to begin to recreate and co-create solutions with the different stakeholder groups, including young people, so that we are very clear on our methodologies and strategies to combat teenage pregnancy.
We must also have open discussions on how to prevent unsafe abortions in the communities.
Stakeholders called for deliberate efforts to address the problem. Ediolwa, UBC News.
Thank you very much there, Ediolwa, for that detailed report. Now, communities have been encouraged to adopt agroforestry practices as a means to conserve forest cover and combat climate change. Researchers from the National Forestry Research Institute communicated this during the International Forest Day celebrations held at their headquarters in Mukono District.
Uganda's forest cover has drastically reduced from 24% in 2005 to just 13% today, primarily due to high population growth and human activities, making the country increasingly vulnerable to climate change. In an effort to protect Uganda's forests, the National Agriculture Research Organization and NAFORI joined the rest of the world in celebrating International Forest Day. This day aims to raise awareness about the critical role forests play in people's lives, especially in poverty reduction, environmental sustainability, food security, and sustainable development.
This is what we want. With reasons, they are not go far. So really, I'm appealing to ourselves. Can we come up with something to...
During the celebrations, a variety of activities including forest walks, tree planting, and exhibitions showcasing different tree species and fruit varieties were conducted. Dr. John Adrico, the director of NAFORI, noted that researchers often struggle to reach comprehensive conclusions in regard to forest protection due to limited funding.
Those of you who went to the field observed and appreciated that forestry research hardly gets funding that would last the life of the research. So we need to get alternative sources of resources to facilitate this. And one of the ways to do that is to generate MTR.
Researchers have appealed to communities to engage in agroforestry practices, which would not only improve food security, but also help protect the environment.
We can generate more information that can inform other parties, other stakeholders, and also the local people on the value of these forests. So by the people having this information at hand, it can be an incentive for the conservation and management of our forests.
In this forest, we need communities. This paper mulberry, don't think it is useless. People are actually harvesting it for firewood and charcoal. There are lorries coming out. People are making money out of it.
Carbon sequestration, you know carbon sequestration, how it helps in climate change regulation. You get it?
This year's International Forests Day was held under the theme Forests and Food. Rebecca Nantongo, Susan Inabugude, UBC News.
Grow well and prosper.
Now, a UPDF engineering brigade has handed over Buteera, Ngarama and Ruborogota health centers 3 to Isingiro district local government. The 3 facilities, with a combined cost of about 600 million shillings, were commissioned by Isingiro RDC Nasima Ada. The facilities are aimed to improve health care in Isingiro district.
Construction of Buteera, Ngarama and Ruborogota Health Center 3s has been concluded and handed over to Isingiro district local government. The construction of the 3 facilities that cost a total of 600 million shillings done by UPDF Engineering Brigade.
The ward room wasn't enough, but we are happy that this one has 3 big rooms. One will be for male, another one for females, then another one for children. So at least we have now more space, and I'm sure there is also a room for maternity. This is very good work, I am sure.
At Buteera Health Center 3, staff houses were constructed and inpatient department blocks at both Ngarama and Ruborogota Health Center 3 in Isingiro district. Captain Yunusun Tegeka, the UPDF Engineering Brigade Project Manager of Western Region, noted that the work has been done within the stipulated time and committed to always deliver quality as expected.
We achieved this quality by proper coordinations, proper inspections, cooperation, in other words. We cooperate with the district every month. We invite them for site inspections to confirm whenever we bring something, we call them to come and witness the quality.
Isingiro district leaders commended the UPDF for the good work done and also thanked the government for the commitment.
We want to thank the president for this initiative because the engineer brigade is doing quality work, standard work. This is going to improve on service delivery.
UPDF is doing a very good work. One, they do work in a record time. And another thing, when you compare their costs and the costs of other service providers, theirs actually is very reasonable.
I want to report that it is very, very good work. And most importantly, it has been cost effective because they have used so little money to have a very beautiful and quality work of this health center. So today we are happy, we congratulate ourselves, we congratulate the district.
Isingiro District Health Officer Dr. Edson Tumusherure says they are optimistic that the government is going to construct a district hospital to reduce patient surge at the health center 3s.
We don't have a hospital, but the government is in the process of giving us a district hospital, and we thank the government for that.
RDC Isingiro na Nasima Ada, who commissioned the 3 projects, applauded government for prioritizing issues of health.
I want to request health workers to be on their jobs.
We don't want to hear issues of absenteeism, issues of being rude to patients. I want to say that let's cooperate. Tukwase UPDF Engineering Brigade certificate yabo habokutwereka ngo bamara umurimo gwitu.
Now, farmers in Kayunga district have been left stranded over government's decision to stop co-funding the micro small-scale irrigation program. This program had been designed to help farmers access affordable irrigation systems to help in improving their agricultural productivity.
I would request the government to, if they want to help farmers, to extend this program or to source out other funds, because I know when they talk about phasing out, it's all about funds. So I think the government has the capacity to source out more funds and sensitizing the farmers to know the need of irrigation, because many farmers don't know that they need water for their plants, not only coffee, even bananas, even other things, even those people who grow tomatoes, to make this process very easy for farmers, because many farmers complain. They go apply for the system, they take ages to bring this system to them. For our farmers, because
the biggest percentage, that is 75% for the irrigation, and the farmers are putting in only 25%. Therefore, this is a modern way of farming, commercializing farming, and enabling farmers to carry out agriculture throughout the year. Now that the program is viable and it is doing very well on ground, I call upon the government to continue to fund this project to it.
Now, Ugandan's diligence has continuously come to the forefront through various interventions around the world. The latest exhibit exquisite levels of creativity is Miranda Kansime, who is the president of the East African Society at the University of Kent in the UK.
The community of Kent University in the United Kingdom has been treated to a high-level culture show dubbed Kelele Fashion Show that aimed at celebrating East African culture. It was organized by Ugandan Miranda Kansime, who is a second-year student and president of the East African Society that boasts of a large presence.
Originally, Kelele has been something that the East African Society has put on since the 2010s, early 2010s. Obviously, I wasn't in uni by that time, and during my first year of university, the East African Society wasn't really doing a lot. Kelele wasn't even thrown, so when I became president, I said, we're bringing back Kelele, we're bringing back a chance for us to be represented, we're bringing back an admiration for East African fashion, and that's what I've done today.
Miranda and her team curated a showcase that celebrated the unique styles of Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and Somalia, and in the process, blended tradition with modern creativity.
I want African designers to think about using their heritage clothes, think about sustainability and circularity, but most importantly, engaging with our ancient cloths that are almost disappearing. Some of them, I mean, we could have lost part. We could have lost this Olubugo, it's Toma. That's what we call it traditionally. We could have lost it, but somehow the Buganda kingdom preserved and protected it. So now we've got it. But all over Africa, we've got all these amazing, amazing cloths. We have the Kente, we have the Shweshwe, we have the Ashoke, we have all of this Bogolan, we have all these amazing ancient cloths. And these cloths actually hold so much in terms of our cultural heritage within their story.
Each outfit during the show that also embraced environmental conservation told a story, from the bolder patterns of Kitengi and Kanga fabrics to the elegant Dirak, a tribute to East Africa's diverse cultural roots.
The other message I have is about you doing something. So it's not about me who's making clothes responsibly. You need to consume responsibly as well. So the message is right here, reduce. It underpins everything. Reduce, reuse, and recycle. So if we take nothing away from this evening, just remember to be kind to the planet and everybody else in it.
The show also aimed to create a platform that not only showcases fashion, but also amplifies East African voices, music, and identity.
Come on, mo pocket, tambula body street, shoes are my target. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. I'm in a plantation, but on a global mission, internet ambition, full condition. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. Oro cash is gone, netaga yo karoni, nigga mukafoni, money in the zone. We are what? Unstoppable. We are what? Unstoppable. We are good.
With you and MTN together, our ambition is unstoppable.
We are what? Unstoppable!
Amazina ganje ninyetekwa Seruhanga John Bosco ninduga mu district ya Rukungiri ryo muhanguzi wa miliyoni 18 na Uganda National Rotary nzahangwire urwo mu kuzana star 278 hash ngafuna message eriko mu muhanguzi nashemererwa konka nabaza kugira ngo neri yabafere sente ziriyo zona bakaziteka nko nazihangwire.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Buza Commissioner, enhancing tax education and bringing it closer to the taxpayers. Many Ugandans have questions about the taxes they pay to URA.
When we come at revenue, they tell us to clear Chitenge at 10,000. And when we are selling Chitenge, we sell it at 17. So we don't know whether we are working or not.
Understanding your tax obligations can help you grow your business and avoid unnecessary losses. Now, you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
At 43 minutes past 10 o'clock, we enter into our segment of business, and we start off with the Uganda Manufacturers Association, UMA, that has expressed its appreciation for the recent electricity tariff reduction following government's takeover of Umeme, now managed by the Uganda Electricity Distribution Company Limited, UEDCL. This development was highlighted by Dr. Ezra Muhumuza, the Executive Director of UMA, during a signing of a Memorandum of Understanding with Kaizen Institute at UMA Showgrounds.
This is the reason we want to tap into the knowledge of Kaizen, and we use Kaizen experts to help us in training of our members. The second level is we have got sector platforms where a given sector are playing, and we want to use Kaizen to give now sector-specific knowledge that will improve the sector as a whole.
So we work with companies to revisit their strategy, the so-called vision and mission priorities, and to see how they can be implemented. Okay, so that is the implementation part. Any family should have projects, right? If you don't have projects, your family will not go forward. So in the company as well, in any company and at the level of manufacturers, we also train people, coach people on how to handle projects. What are the main projects that you're having in our company? Even UMA, what are the main projects? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 projects. We are really committed for a long relationship with UMA and with Uganda and manufacturers. And that we'll do our best to bring what we have been able to accumulate as experience over 40 years. We are working in more than 70 countries, 70, and we think it's time also for Uganda to benefit.
Now, quickly into the world of sports, Vipers Soccer Club have stretched their lead at the top of Uganda's Premier League table to 5 points following a narrow win of 1-0 over Lugazi FC. Vipers CS had lost to SC Villa last weekend.
Mukundane Hilary, long ball coming in from Mukundane into the gloves of the goalkeeper. Juma Mutebi. Mukundane Hilary, long ball coming in from Mukundane into the gloves of the goalkeeper. Juma Mutebi. Here's touch. Watambala Karim looks back to Okello, and Okello inside. Okello shoots and blocked by Otieno Stephen. First corner for Vipers Sports Club. Here's touch. Watambala Karim looks back to Okello, and Okello inside. Okello shoots and blocked by Otieno Stephen. First corner for Vipers Sports Club. This is Pedro. Here for Enoch Lima. Cut back inside. A chance here for Okello. It's called turning around at the center line. That's if Vipers are into that attacking mode. Okello no turn. Okello again. Square. Roger Sturridge. Karim Watambala. Watambala shot! Scott Pedro Sukuya. Lima, Enoch, lovely ball. That's across the face of the goal area. Lima in the center more. Glang Isaac, Vipers with a chance. Okello to make it 2, and again Okello denied by the crossbar. Oh, what a chance, and how did Okello miss that? A chance here for Okello. Good passing to Pedro Sukuya, and Pedro! This ball is out for a goal kick. Wanted to pick that. A chance here for Okello. Good passing to Pedro Sukuya, and Pedro! This ball is out for a goal kick.
And with that ambience between Vipers and FC, that means we sign out. Thank you so much for being a part of us. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. Mugalu Mohammed has been with us. It's a good night.
Inspiring Uganda.